I want to talk about the fidget trend, because it's been bothering me. I want to start off by saying that anyone and everyone can stim. Anyone and everyone does stim. Stimming is something all people do, regardless of neurotype. I'm not trying to say that stimming is only for certain groups of people or that neurotypical people shouldn't use fidget toys. That said, there are some issues that arise when stimming becomes a trend. First, let's talk about what stimming is. Stimming is creating sensory input for any number of reasons, including to self-soothe, to express emotions, and to meet sensory needs. Fidgeting is stimming by moving your body or hands, typically in more socially acceptable ways, like playing with a pen or tapping your foot. It is a good thing that fidgeting is becoming more socially acceptable and more widely understood. Humans aren't made to sit still on desks for hours. But when it becomes a trend, it causes problems. 1. Fidgets as a distraction. A lot of people find that stimming helps them focus, and other people need to stim to distract them from upsetting input. But there are a lot of people who use stim tools as toys, and find that they distract them and other people around them from what they need to be focusing on. In a lot of schools, there was a time period when fidget spinners were a big trend where they were banned because they were seen as a distraction because so many kids had them. This causes problems for the people who actually need them to focus. It essentially ends up getting neurodivergent students in trouble because their neurotypical peers use something that's meant to be a disability aid as a toy. This isn't to say that neurotypical people don't also need to stim, or that neurotypical people shouldn't have fidget spinners. The issue is when people stop treating them like a tool and start treating them like a toy. Regardless of your neurotype, stim tools are tools. They can also be something fun to entertain you in your free time. In your free time, not in places you are supposed to be working, like school. 2. The double standard. I have been in both general ed and special ed classes, and the way stimming is treated is vastly different between the two. In general ed classes, teachers typically don't mind me stimming, even if it's somewhat distracting, because they understand that I need to stim and stim a lot and in less socially acceptable ways because I'm autistic and ADHD. In special ed classes, it's very different. Maybe this is just me, but I would expect people who work with autistic people and other disabled people all the time to understand and accept stimming better than people who mostly interact with non-disabled students. This doesn't seem to be the case. I was often discouraged from stimming in special ed, even the more socially acceptable ones like drawing. Making stimming more socially acceptable for abled people doesn't help the disabled people who need to stim and stim more than their abled peers. 3. Misunderstanding stimming. When stimming becomes a trend, people seem to forget what the word stimming even means. Stimming is not just aesthetic toys and glittery slime. Stimming is creating sensory input. When people who use fidget spinners and like slime treat other forms of stimming like they're weird or gross, it hurts the people who use those things in the first place. You can't love fidget toys and then make fun of people who flap or rock or chew or scream or hit themselves. That's hypocritical. Those people are the intended audience of fidget toys in the first place. One good thing about the fidget trend is that stim tools are now more readily available to the people who need them. But we really need to stop excluding people from a trend that started with products targeted to them. If you like the videos I make, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the bell thing. I make videos whenever I get a chance about autism, being situationally nonverbal, and using AAC. If you have any questions or anything to say, feel free to comment. I love getting comments. If you have any video suggestions or topics you want me to discuss, please let me know.